Totri, this is your subconscious.
My subconscious is speaking?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it sound like Shane?
ASU is going to win 11 football games next year.
Let's go. Happy Friday, and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by the deli man behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Rubus is still on his unknown voyage. He'll be back sometime in August. In the meantime, it'll just be the deli man and myself and everybody here in the chat. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. JJB kicking it off in the chat saying Oregon State versus ASU men's basketball this December in Tempe. The pack lives on. Ben with a little happy Friday. EJ in here as well.
We need to bonk JJ every
we need
time
to
he
bonk
talks about
JJ.
ASU basketball.
Yeah. What do you think of that? I mean, you were probably ear-to-ear smiles today when you saw the news.
No, this is a gap year. I don't care about anything.
It's a gap year?
Yeah.
It's like you're traveling Europe this year. You're not worried about what happens in college basketball.
No.
That's tough. EJ saying half day Friday and PHNX on at the gym is goated. Thank y'all for being here. EJ, one more rep.
One more.
You got this. Come on. Don't stop. Keep going.
Don't stop. Get it.
Throw in another 10 pounds each side.
Well,
you got it.
Don't hurt yourself.
Well, yeah. I mean, just be better. Be better than your previous self. Do that.
But don't hurt your future self.
Yeah. Well, don't hurt your present self.
Hurt future Totri.
No, we're not okay with that by any means. Plus, I can't be hurt. My subconscious said we're going to win 11 games, so we're chilling.
Subconscious, sultry tones. Very nice.
Oh gosh.
Voice. Thinks maybe you could get into voice acting.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I see it. Do you want to be like? Do you think the subconscious would be a good voice for like a Disney character, or are we talking?
It depends on the character.
A talking animated cow.
Moo.
Okay, we're done. We're done with that. Glenn with the comment in the chat. Pain is weakness, leaving the body. That's for EJ and anybody else listening. On your drive home, while you're working out, running, doing all of the things. But look, Arizona State in 2024 was able to benefit from production and some solid reps from some of the underclassmen, freshmen, sophomores, those redshirt sophomores. I think you even look back, maybe the most notable underclassman on the roster last year was Sam Leavitt, right? A redshirt sophomore or redshirt freshman quarterback that was just an absolute animal for the Sun Devils. Now, I don't think that we're going into 2025 expecting any of the redshirt freshmen or the freshmen on this roster to turn into what Sam Leavitt was in 2024. And again, that's not just the quarterback position. That's all the positions that we're going to be talking about today. But still, and this was a point of emphasis from Kenny Dillingham during spring football, where it was like, we want to see which young players, which underclassmen, which freshmen that we can count on in big moments, right? Guys that you can point to in week 10, week 9, week 7, where maybe some of your starters, maybe your juniors, your seniors, your grad students, they're tired, they're hurt, whatever, right? And you need to be able to throw in a freshman, a redshirt freshman, a sophomore in there and say, hey, you know what? We need you. We need you on 3rd and long. We need you to go make a play on offense, whatever it is. Arizona State has a handful of freshmen on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball that could really, really benefit from having a big fall camp. And again, fall camp starts up next week for Arizona State. So we're going to get to see these freshmen in action relatively soon, but which ones could benefit the most from a big fall camp in 2025? I want to start with maybe the biggest freshman that we've got for Arizona State, and that is, of course, tight end A.J. Ia. We saw A.J. Ia a ton in spring football. We know this kid as the second highest rated player in Arizona State's class of 2025 by 24/7 Sports. Figures to be a big part of this offense, or at least a part of this offense in 2025. We know you've got Shimon Mateer, Kamari Anderson that are more than likely going to be your starting tight ends this year, but A.J. Ia could play a big role for the Sun Devil offense, whether that be on 3rd and short, whether that be in 13 personnel where you do have one back in the backfield and you've got 3 tight ends, or even in the goal line situation, because this guy is so big. 6'6", 250 some odd pounds as a true freshman. And that's before we've even seen him and what he's listed at going into fall camp. He's somebody that when we did see him in spring ball, he was really impressive with his route running. I was actually pretty surprised with the way that he was able to block as a true freshman, blocking some of the older members of that ASU front seven, especially a group where there are so many returners. Like, he possesses the strength of somebody that is a lot older than what A.J. is. So when we're talking about somebody that could benefit the most in fall camp, I think A.J. is certainly the name that you have to bring up most. He is a guy that I feel could be a starting tight end for the Sun Devils in the future. We're talking next year, even when Shimon is likely gone on this roster. So I think with A.J. Ia getting to fall camp, continuing to build on that relationship with Sam, get more familiar with this playbook. And then also I'm excited to see what he's been doing in the weight room with Coach Joe, the strength and conditioning coach at Arizona State, to maybe even improve his body even more. This is somebody that we're talking maybe week 5, week 6, week 7 has a dominant, or I guess I should say a prominent role in this offense for the Sun Devils. I think Marcus Arroyo is going to be able to scheme out the wazoo with A.J. Ia at that tight end position. So I'm really excited to see what A.J. Ia does. I know the Sun Devil fan base is really excited to see A.J. as well. When Shane and I were at the spring game, we actually had the chance to talk with A.J. and I had been big on, hey, this is the guy. This is the cream of the crop when it comes to this freshman class. What were you able to see just from that first your first opportunity to get to see A.J. at that spring game, Shane?
Is massive frame.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first thing that sticks out at you. There's no way this kid is 18. Was he even 18 by that time?
Maybe.
Like, he's hulking.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see, and this is my favorite part of like the off season, is seeing the players arrive for fall camp from spring ball, because you just spent, a month watching them at their earliest, especially the freshmen at ASU, and then you see the transformation they get with Coach Joe and the whole Iron Devils. And
yeah, they look different.
They literally they look like different people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what that's going to look like, especially for a guy like him who has a frame that is just, you can just build on like a Lego set.
Yeah, literally. I think A.J. Ia again is going to be a problem. And there are going to be so many different weapons in this offense that opposing defensive coordinators and defenses are so focused on, with Jordan Tyson, with Sam Levitt in the dual threat ability to be able to just heave it downfield or take off with his legs. Shimon as your starting tight end. Turbo, right? In Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Moss. And then that's without even mentioning any of the running backs. So if you're able to get some production from an A.J. Ia, whether that be goal line sets, whether that be short yardage situations, I think it is only going to take this Arizona State offense to the next level to have a third tight end that you can count on, and one whose ceiling, in all honesty, is just as high, if not higher, than the guy that you have starting at tight end in Shimon Mateer. It's certainly going to be a problem, but A.J. Ia isn't the only offensive freshman that could benefit from a major fall camp. This next one might throw some people off, so bear with me here. But I'm going with Michael Tollefson. We've got Butter, the quarterback in this class for Arizona State. Somebody that there was a lot of hype around him. There's been a lot of hype around the future of the quarterback position for the Sun Devils. Tollefson comes in at number 11 in Arizona State's class of 2025 rankings by 24/7 Sports. This is somebody that, again, doesn't have the pressure of being the starting quarterback or in the middle of a quarterback competition in his first year at Arizona State. That's not something that can be said for a lot of young quarterbacks that come in to ASU. We've seen it year over year, right? Jaden Rashada got here, had to compete for a starting spot. Sam Levitt, even as a redshirt freshman, had to compete for a starting spot the moment he got here. Jaden Daniels, like the list goes on and on of young quarterbacks that whether they transfer to ASU, commit to ASU, they're kind of thrust in the fire. And that's not the case for Butter. And the fact of the matter is, when Sam ultimately leaves Arizona State to go to the NFL, which of course you'd love for Sam to stay another year even after this year, all odds are pointing to the fact that he's probably going to go pro next year. So that means there will most likely be a quarterback competition, whether that be with Jake Fett, maybe an incoming transfer at that point, or some of these younger quarterbacks that are already on Arizona State's roster, Cam Dyer and Michael Tollefson. For me, with Cam Dyer still rehabbing from injury, Michael Tollefson has, he's got the spot as it stands right now to be QB3 going into the 2025 season. Now, that puts him at a solid position because as a true freshman, he is going to still get practice reps, right? Now, he's not going to get a million reps the way that Sam, and he's going to get even fewer reps than a guy in Jeff Sims, who is going to be your backup quarterback this season. But in theory, Michael Tollefson should still be able to get some team reps. He should be able to really sit down and digest this playbook while still being able to learn from some of the older guys in this room, like a Jeff Sims, like a Sam Levitt. I'm not sure if there's an offensive or defensive freshman that we're going to talk about today that has a bigger opportunity than Tollefson. Now, he is not going to be competing for a starting spot. That is not going to happen this camp by any means. But because he is able to work his way in this offense, he doesn't have a ton of pressure to go out there and light it up the way that Sam had to do when he first got to Arizona State in that quarterback competition with Jaden Rashada, with Jeff Sims, etc. I think if Tollefson proves himself, right, in fall camp as somebody that is competent in this offense, somebody that has all of the physical tools that you want in a quarterback at Arizona State, I think, again, he is going to be, or he's going to at least have in the edge when we get to that quarterback competition next year. And I know it's going to feel clean slate, whatever, but when these coaches, when Marcus Arroyo, when Kenny Dillingham, when all of these coaches are seeing this freshman quarterback work in this offense and start to dot up, whether it be third teamers, second teamers, doesn't matter to me, that is going to leave a lasting impact in my mind for these coordinators, for Kenny, when we do get to that eventual quarterback competition. Why? Because guess what? Jake Fett's going to be new when he gets on campus. Cam Dyer, we still haven't seen Cam Dyer, right? Still coming back from an injury. We haven't seen whatever potential incoming transfer quarterback is going to be on Arizona State's roster in theory next season. But you know what these coaches will have seen? They will have seen Michael Tollefson in this offense, learning, grasping it, and again, learning under guys like a Sam Levitt and somebody in a Jeff Sims. There was a lot of discussion about Butter, before he even arrived on campus. And this is somebody that is a Sun Devil through and through. When Arizona State was playing in the Peach Bowl, like Butter was there, right? He was there on the field doing what he needed to do. Now there was never a chance that he was going to play. I don't even think, like, eligibility wise, he could play in that game. But just being a part of that experience, like, he was on the field for that, right? He saw that. I think even him, like, graduating high school when he did so that he could be here for spring football, so that he could be here for that college football playoff game, I think goes a really, really long way with these coaches. Glenn saying Tollefson been here already for a year and a half. Is he really a freshman? Yeah. at this point, he is. He's still a freshman, but he's somebody that, again, because of like when he graduated high school, has been able to be a part of this Arizona State team for a good chunk of time. And by the time he actually, like, again, is in a position to compete for a starting spot, the fact that he had been here and he's been here for as long as he has, like, I think that is ultimately going to make a difference. Glenn also saying, worst case scenario, he becomes a Bourget and just wants to be here and is comfortable here and someone we can trust if our quarterback gets hurt. That's true as well. I think every team in college football could benefit from having a guy like a Trenton Bourget on their roster. I know Arizona State sure benefited from having Trenton Bourget on the roster, and now I think they're going to benefit from having him as an assistant running backs coach as well. So if that ultimately is the path for Michael Tollefson, then that's what it is. I don't want to just pigeonhole him as a freshman trying to figure out what he's going to be able to do. I don't know what his ceiling and his floor is as it stands right now, right? We haven't seen him do a ton with the twos, obviously not anything with the ones. So that is why, again, I think this opportunity in fall camp is going to be pivotal for him. Maybe not as pivotal for different reasons, like an AJ Ia, who is going to be competing, I think, for playing time like immediately. But Tollefson, just to have those reps in there, right? Mental reps, and just the feel of the offense, I think, is going to go a long way, especially if offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo stays put at Arizona State for the future. But we do have one other offensive freshman that we are going to discuss. Before we get to that final freshman, let me know what you guys think of AJ Ia and Michael Tollefson and what they could possibly gain when we do eventually get to fall camp next week. Also, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to continue our list of freshmen that could benefit from a big fall camp on the other side of this quick break. Look, of course, we're talking freshmen that could benefit from a big, strong fall camp, and you guys could all benefit from signing up with Mountain America Credit Union because they're helping you stretch your dollar. You guys can get 2 times the points on rewards credit card purchases through July 31st. Your ears should perk up there because it's July 25th right now, so it's limited time only. Take advantage of it while you can, and you can use your Mountain America rewards card and watch the points pile up. It is perfect for the essentials. Literally, we're talking all the essentials here: gas, groceries, travel, home projects, and all other purchases. Like I said off the top, this promotion is an easy way for you to stretch your dollar since you guys are going to earn twice as many rewards. Redeem your double points for rewards like travel rebates, gift cards, and event tickets. Like I said, limited time only. Take advantage of it while you can. More details at macu.com/double. Loans on approved credit offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Look, we're always telling you about how you guys can improve your homes, indoor, outdoor, all the above. Well, we got a great way for you to improve your outdoor experience with All Pro Shade Concepts. You guys can extend your outdoor living space with a custom fit awning. They got hundreds of designs and colors to choose from to match any home. They can work with your HOA for approvals. They got a bunch of different kinds, motorized and retract with a remote control. They got the cool LED lighting that you're going to want to light up your patio under the awning. This is the perfect time to sign up with All Pro Shade Concepts because I don't know if you guys know this. You go outside right now, it is hot as hell. The sun just won't stop beating down on you. Well, here you go. You got a perfect way to bring shade to your backyard. Call 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com now to schedule your free estimate. Look, this is also a perfect time to become a PHNX diehard. EJ Knoll took advantage of the offer that we had going on earlier in the week, and now he is a PHNX diehard, and you guys have an opportunity to cash in with the best diehard deal of the year. Of course, we talk about Arizona State fall camp right underway, but Cardinals training camp is here as well. You guys can join today for just $36 for the entire year. That's $3 a month for full access to Cardinals coverage, a free t-shirt, and our exclusive Discord, merch and event discounts, and so much more. The Cardinal season starts now. Make sure you make your move. Go phnx.com/intro, offer social, or go phnx.com, click Die Hard tab, and you guys can go from there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Getting straight into that third freshman that we're going to talk about today, one of the faster freshmen, if not the fastest freshman on the offense. That is, of course, Cory Butler Jr. out of Corona, California. He is a wideout, ranked number 3 in Arizona State's class of 2025 by 24/7 Sports. Now, some of you may be seeing the Cory Butler Jr. pick here, and you're like, well, we already have a ton of wide receivers, right? Jordan Tyson's getting run. Malik McLean's getting run. Jared Hamilton, Jalen Moss. What about Derek Eusebio and Zechariah Sample? Well, yeah, you got another one there, Chano?
Is Noble Johnson?
He's there.
What's he doing? Is he just...
No, he could get run, but I think...
I haven't heard about him.
He came on at the end of last spring.
And Cory is... This is the first time seeing it. Everybody's seen him, right?
Correct.
He was not here. Spring.
He was here for spring.
Oh, he was.
He was here for spring. Yeah.
What did you see out of Cory Butler in spring?
He is maybe the fastest guy on the team. Which I don't want to throw that out there like just willy-nilly because there are a bunch of fast wide receivers. Right? Jaron Hamilton's nickname is literally Turbo. And then you've got a guy in Zechariah Sample, Derek Eusebio. This guy moves just as fast as they do. He's got really, really good burst and acceleration off the line. Reminds me a lot of like Caleb Black when he was here. Has that speed off the line, and he's got like that extra gear that some wide receivers don't necessarily have. But I think for Cory Butler Jr., when we have this discussion of him, like as somebody that could have a really big fall camp and what that would mean for his 2025 season, I don't think it means immediately that he's getting reps offensively. I think this is a guy that could really, really benefit from getting run in special teams, whether he's a punt returner, a kick returner, whatever. Glenn's saying slot speed demon could be, right? Like the slot position, I'm really curious to see if it looks the same as it did in spring ball. It was a lot of Jalen Moss in the slot there, and they had Jaron Hamilton and Jordan Tyson on the perimeters. I'm interested to see if that changes at all. If it does, then I think, again, we could have that. We could come back to that conversation of like, okay, maybe some of the younger guys who do fit the mold of like quicker, shiftier slot wideouts, like a Cory Butler, like a Derek Eusebio, do they get run at that specific position? But when we're talking about Cory Butler Jr. and having a big fall camp, like I said, I don't think a big fall camp translates for him to get wide receiver reps. I think it's more so of like, hey, we can count on you to be a return man in special teams, which for a true freshman would go a long way, right? Just to show the trust that this coaching staff has in some of their younger players. I know Shane is with me on this. I am somebody that absolutely hates, and Kenny did this his first year at ASU. I hate when teams and coaches put their best skill guys on return. And Elijah Badger was returning kickoffs for Arizona State in Kenny's first year. And Kenny is way smarter than me when it comes to everything as it relates to football. That's just not what I like to see because of the risk for injury.
So this is what I will say with that is that first year was so unique that Kenny probably in his sick mind saw the kickoff as one of the best opportunities for them to score.
Yeah.
Because of how weak that team was. And what does he always say? Get the ball to your best players in space. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing. It's like one of that. I'm always pounding the table for that. Hey, you have a really good player. Get them the ball in space. What more space is there than a kickoff return? So that's probably why. I would imagine last year if they had Elijah Badger, he doesn't do that because we didn't see that with Jordan Tyson.
I hope so. But at least like going into this year, because you have so much more just the skill gap, right, from this year to what it was that first year is so vastly different that there should not be a case where we see Jordan Tyson out there returning kicks. Heck, I don't want to see Jalen Moss out there returning kicks or any of those running backs even, right? Like I would much rather you burn a redshirt year for one of these kids and have them go be your return guys, right? And again, they could redshirt next year. Maybe, or maybe they don't redshirt at all. They just play all straight 4 years. Like I'm fine with that if you're getting something in return, and I think you are if you ultimately can trust a guy in Cory Butler Jr. to be a starting punt return man or a starting kick return man. He possesses that speed, the shiftiness, the acceleration, everything that you want when you like load in a video game and you're trying to set your kickoff or punt return man. Like, you're immediately, screw the vision. I'm looking for the dude that's quick, that can move, and that can break ankles. And Cory Butler Jr. can do all three of those things. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, can this coaching staff trust you? And that's something, a trust that I think is going to continue to develop during fall camp. So I think that's what a big fall camp would mean and could do for Cory Butler Jr. when it's all said and done. Glenn bringing it up. Who else was Kenny putting out there besides Elijah? Yeah, I mean, last year, who was it? Melquan Stovall was returning kicks. And even then, like, he was a starting wide receiver, right? Like, he was starting in the slot at wideout. So, like, I mean, based off of that, then yeah, maybe we're going to see a season where you get like a Jaron Hamilton or a Jalen Moss returning kicks. And maybe this is just a me thing. I hate it. I really, really hate it. But to what Shane said, if it is like a point of, hey, we just want to get our most talented players the ball in extra time and space, then we're going to do that. And by all means, that's why I'm not the head coach at Arizona State. So we'll see. We'll see what a big fall camp could do, not only for Cory Butler Jr., but for Michael Tollefson and AJ Ia as well. Let me know in the comments if there are any other offensive freshmen that you guys are looking to have a big fall camp, and maybe what that could mean in terms of actual production and trust when we get to the 2025 season. We're going to flip it to the other side of the ball. There's Glenn, man. You just set me with the alley-oop. Any defensive freshman standouts? Well, boy, Glenn, do I got 3 graphics for you, courtesy our intern, Seth, starting with Ben Alefaio. Ben Alefaio at the safety position is somebody that I think is going to be really, really fascinating for Arizona State fans, coming in at number 6 in that class of 2025, ranking by 24/7 Sports, another California commit. A relatively good size safety for a true freshman. I believe this is a kid that is already 6'1", nearly 200 pounds. He was an 88 right by the 24/7 Sports rating. So just a couple points away from being a 4-star safety. And when you look at this safety room as it stands right now, it's clear that you've got maybe the best safety duo in college athletics, maybe the best safety duo in the Big 12 at the very least, with Xavier Alford and with Miles Rouser. Yes, Shane, you're staring at me here. Was there a spelling, or did I mispronounce?
Yeah, I mean, let's just get the young man's name right at the start of his career, or at least attempt to.
Yeah, I'm avoiding the last hyphen.
You don't have to do the last hyphen. Just, you're doing the Bolintnikov thing again. Where it's the Bolint. It's not the Bolint. It's the Bolitnikov. And he's not Alefaio. It's Alefaio.
Alefaio. What'd I say?
You said Alefaio. You omitted
Alefaio?
the E. Yep.
Okay, there you go. Ben Alefaio.
Maybe.
You don't even know.
I'm just saying you took away the E, and the E's.
No, maybe the E's silent.
You know what, Totri? You're right.
It could be, right? Like, we don't know that.
I think it's just...
You're assuming that the E is like standing on business like that.
I think it's just a little E, would be my guess.
I mean, maybe. Ben Alefaio. I mean, sure, we'll go with that. Ben, if you want to call in, just let me know.
Yeah.
We'll 100% get the name right here. But again, getting back to why a big fall camp could be big for him, I think, again, you look at the safety position, Xavier Alford, Miles Rouser, you feel really, really comfortable with those two guys. But this is a safety room that is definitely not as deep as it was last year, right? You had a Kamari Wilson here last year. You had a number of guys that, if you needed to, could play safety in a pinch. Even a guy like Shamari Simmons, who was a safety before converting to a nickel corner. So I think you look at the safety spot now, you're comfortable with the starters. You got Boogie Wilson, who transferred from Washington State. You got a guy in Chris Johnson Jr., who's still a relatively young player, who was initially a corner before you kicked him outside to safety. So this is somebody, as a true freshman, that, similar to Tollefson, isn't going to be competing right off the rip, I don't think, for starting reps, right? Like, you're not going to see Alefaio start by any means unless something has gone wrong on the back end of this defense, which, of course, nobody wants that to happen. But he's going to have an opportunity to learn from an Xavier Alford, from a Miles Rouser, and take over this position maybe even as early as next year when these guys are gone. right? Xavier Alford's got 1 year left in college football. This is it. Miles Rouser, I don't know immediately what the eligibility situation is looking like, but I believe he's probably done after this year as well. So you are going to have some holes at that safety spot, and somebody that can play in this defense, can get familiar with the system here, could have a really, really strong college career. I mean, you just look back to the last several seasons at Arizona State. Look at the safeties. Look at what they've been able to do. Not just last year, but even the year prior to that, right? Like Shamari had a really, really strong season at safety the year prior. I think he was top 3 in terms of total tackles on this team. The safeties are huge in this defense, in this system. So similar to Tollefson, if Ben can just really get acclimated to this system and learn from the guys that are going to be starting at those safety spots in front of him, then I think this is somebody that when we get to next year, when we get to 2026 spring ball or 2026 fall camp, Camp Tontezona, we could be talking about Ben as somebody that could ultimately be a player that is thrust into a starting role, or at the very least, somebody that's a rotational piece at the starting spot. Glenn saying riser in recruiting ranks, dude is a dude. This is somebody that is going to be working with Brian Ward. So I think you have to take that into consideration, right? Like the safeties and the nickel corners work daily in indie drills with Brian Ward, which means similar to all the other position groups, right? If Brian Carrington's recruiting you, you're probably going to go play corner. If Jason Mons is recruiting you, you're probably playing tight end. If Hines Ward's recruiting you, you're playing wide receiver. If Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator at Arizona State, likes you enough as a high schooler to bring you in at the safety spot, I think that speaks volumes about the type of player that you are and the type of player that you can be. He sees the potential. And I think, again, that goes a long way. The same way that if Marcus Arroyo was going to be recruiting somebody on offense, I think that speaks volumes about the way that he feels and ultimately the path that he sees that player taking. So, again, I don't see Alefaio getting a ton of playing time immediately, maybe as a special teamer. He's somebody that could certainly be in play to have a redshirt season, but I don't think that's a bad thing by any means. Like these older safeties, you let them take care of business. You just follow suit. And if I am Ben, the same way that if I'm Cory Butler, like I am going to be glued to the hip of Xavier Alford. If I'm a wide receiver, if I'm Cory Butler, I am glued to the hip of Jordan Tyson. And I think that's like, when you look at Arizona State this year, and this is slightly off track, and Shane, I'd love to get your thoughts on this because you're somebody that covered this team with me when they were, dog ass, right? But this is a program now, the way that it's been set up, where these younger players, Ben, somebody like an AJ Ia, Michael Tollefson, like they have such a big opportunity now to where they don't have to immediately come in as true freshmen and be concerned about like, okay, I've got to get the offense. I gotta worry about playing time. I gotta get bigger. I gotta get faster. I gotta do all these things, right? While the season's going on. Like it is, you're in a position where you can redshirt, you can be fine. You can understand and grasp the system. And you also have people that are going to be starting in those positions that are so elite at what they do that if you care a lot about being a great college athlete or improving your game, you can be like glued to these guys, right? If I'm a young wideout, like I said, you're with Jordan Tyson. If I'm Tollefson, Sam Levitt, you're my best friend, right? If I'm a safety, Xavier Alford, like nice to know you. If I'm a young D lineman, CJ Fight, like give me a hug. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's what it needs to be. And those are really good programs. I didn't think Arizona State would get to this point where they did have that situation this quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the culture. It's all about the culture.
Yeah.
And so that we see how these players interact with each other, not just with each other, but with the community. Like Sam and Jordan are like, they're not just ASU football players anymore. They're Tempe icons. Like everyone loves them because of how they carry themselves. And that doesn't just happen off the field. That happens on the field. That happens in practice. That happens in the facility, I'm sure. Like the top talent of this team, not only do people look at them because they're top talent, but they're also like top personalities.
Yeah.
They're great people. And that's Kenny's biggest thing. Like yes, you're going to look at star ratings. You're going to look at 40 times. You're going to look at the way that this guy has good bend or the way he runs routes. But Kenny's also going to take into account, and this is probably 60 to 90% of the reason why he's going to bring him here, if they're a good person or not.
Yeah.
And if they're not a good person, they're not going to be here. Like, Kenny doesn't mess with anybody that's not a good person. And we totally see that in these players. It's so clear that all of them not only get together well, they gel well, they also are just good humans.
That's why I think it's worked so well so fast,
Yeah,
like 100%. You said, right? Like, it's all of these guys truly do. And I think it's like a cliche in sports of like, I totally spaced on it, to be completely honest with you. Like, what I was going. Like, immediately I was like, okay, this is where I'm going.
Maybe?
And then,
Airbud maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, if I get back to it, then if it comes back.
That was crazy. That was the fastest derailing of a train of thought ever.
In like 2 seconds.
Less than that.
I think the train disappeared.
Yeah.
The train literally went off. It's tough. That's tough. Let's see. Glenn in chat saying Dilly should do that at Camp T, put every freshman with a veteran of the same position. I'm sure these guys have already done it, ended up like on their own. And given the way that this coaching staff operates and this team culture operates, like, I don't think Dilly would do that. I don't think Dilly would say, hey, like, you need to go be with this guy. I think he more so has recruited players from the transfer portal and recruiting classes that he feels would take the initiative themselves to go do that. Even if it's like a Jordan Tyson, where it's like, hey, you're with me, right? Just taking the initiative, or some of the younger guys going up and being like, yeah, like, do you mind if we go through extra reps, or I sit next to you in meetings, or do just even like little things like that. I think Dilly wants to see the players take the initiative of a player-led team, as opposed to kind of enforcing that, where it's like, okay, young wideouts, Jordan Tyson's your chaperone. And the same thing with the young quarterbacks, like, you got to follow Sam Levitt around. Like, I don't think he wants that. But ultimately, we'll see how these guys develop as the season goes on and how their careers kind of play out at Arizona State. But we do have 2 more defensive freshman standouts that I want to get to, or at least guys that could have big spring or big fall camps, before we get to a break, make sure you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, you drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Got 2 more defensive freshmen for you, and then hot or not, all of that on the other side of this quick break. Guys, I stopped at Circle K today, typed in my phone number in the pump, saved 5 cents per gallon, literally just every day that I go to Circle K and I fill up on gas, I can save money. It's because I'm an Inner Circle member. Don't worry, it's not a super exclusive club, but it is a free membership that you guys can sign up for and save money when it comes to gas, snacks, drinks, pretty much anything that Circle K has. Go to the App Store, download the app, enter your email and phone number, and that's it. That's all you got to do to sign up to become an Inner Circle member. And the next time you pull up to the pump, once you sign up to become an Inner Circle member, you guys can save 25 cents per gallon, not just on your first fill up, not just on your second fill up, but your first 5 fill-ups. You guys can save big when it comes to gas. Not to mention, like I said, they got 99-cent Frosters, 79-cent Polar Pops. They got all sorts of stuff, including a random Inner Circle Fuel Days, where sometimes you guys could save like 50 cents per gallon on gas, which is just kind of crazy in today's economy. Take advantage of it. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Look, earlier we told you how you guys could improve your outdoor living experience. Time to tell you how you can improve the floors in your home with our friends over at Empire today. Look, those big box stores, you're going to go in, you're going to have a bunch of questions like myself. You're going to wander the aisles for hours aimlessly trying to find somebody to help you. And once you finally get out of that store and you go home, you got to do it yourself, and that is realistically the last thing you want to do. That is not the case with Empire today. They've got flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. They live and breathe flooring, and they're going to be with you every step of the way. That goes a long way. It's a whole different ball game with our friends over at Empire today, and they're trying to prove it. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code PHNX. Yes, you heard it right, a $350 discount with code PHNX. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHNX for full details. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Shane, I need to ask you a question. Did you leave a 5-star review
on
audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
I left a 5-star review on 3 different platforms, brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you hit the subscribe button?
I hit the subscribe button on 3 different accounts, brother.
You done had been subscribed?
I had been done this.
Did you hit the like button?
No.
Yeah, I need you to go do that immediately. Seth, did you do all 3 of those things?
I'm getting on it right after this. I hit the like button already, though.
Yeah, well, we won't see you on Monday if you don't do those 3 things. Isn't that right, Shane?
Yeah, I'll kill him.
Okay, well.
With my bare hands.
Yeah, with his bare hands. He's got claws today, ladies and gentlemen. No, let's not. Oh, man.
That's too far.
Yeah, that's just slightly too far.
I can kill our interns, but I can't live stream it.
Yeah, no, we don't need that. Glenn asking if there's another like button that they can hit.
No, because the one that's upside down is bad.
Yeah, don't hit the upside down like button. That's problematic. That's really, really problematic here. But getting back to the point of conversation, getting into the next defensive freshman that could benefit from a big fall camp. And this is somebody that I think could actually see the field and get reps at a certain point, depending on how that fall camp goes. Head into the linebacker room. That is Isaiah Iosefa. He is a linebacker that comes in at number 5 in Arizona State's class of 2025 rankings from 24/7 Sports. Again, like, just the build of this kid, I feel like as somebody who is already 6 foot, 225 pounds, as a true freshman out of Hawaii, he's got, really, really good pedigree, competed in the 2025 Under Armour All-American game, 2025 Polynesian Bowl, and then enrolled at ASU pretty early. This is somebody that, again, each of the last 2 seasons, get this, was named the linebacker MVP at the Under Armour Next Camp in Maui. Top performer at the ESPN 300 Elite Underclassmen Camp last year. Like, he does have the pedigree to be an immediate impact linebacker for Arizona State. Now, did the Sun Devils need that this year? Not necessarily, right? You look at that linebacker spot. We talk often about the 3-headed monster that they have at that position under A.J. Cooper, Keyshawn Elliott, Cyrus Fiaseu, and Jordan Crook. And I've been pretty gung-ho that Jordan Crook has been, at least in spring, maybe the most improved player offensively, defensively, special teams, all of the above, right? He has been that good of a player. And so I think when you look at the linebacker spot, it is going to be really tough immediately to fight for reps because you do have those 3 guys, not to mention you have Martell Hughes. Martell Hughes, who was here last year for the Sun Devils, and even at a certain point, had a pump block for a touchdown, I think, going the other way. So I think when you look at the linebacker spot, it's those 4 guys that are probably going to be getting the bulk of the reps, the lion's share of them at the very least. But when we're talking about Isaiah, he is somebody that, similar to a Cory Butler, he can give you impact as a true freshman. Now, can he do it defensively? Potentially, if they throw him out there, but I think you're more likely going to see Isaiah on special teams if he doesn't get redshirted this season. Similar to what I said with Cory Butler. It's not necessarily a case of like, oh, you came to Arizona State at this specific position and you're going to play as a true freshman there, right? Both those rooms are really heavy, that be it wide receiver and linebacker. But if this kid is able to be a difference maker the way Martell Hughes was on special teams as a true freshman, then we're talking about this Arizona State linebacker room being set up perfectly going into next year, right? Because you're probably going to lose all 3 of those linebackers that we talked about going into next year. Your Keyshawn's gone, Cyrus is gone, Jordan Crook's gone. So now what do you have at the linebacker spot, right? You've got Martell Hughes, which I feel confident and strong about that. And then you have a guy in Isaiah Iosefa, who at that point, whether he is a redshirt freshman or a true sophomore, I think you'd feel really comfortable with him given the fact that he played significant minutes for this team on special teams. Now, I know that is not like, oh my gosh, he played special teams, he's going to come over and be a starting linebacker. Well, look at Jordan Crook. Look what Jordan Crook did at Arkansas, right? He played the majority of his reps as a special teamer at Arkansas, transferred here to Arizona State, had a really solid season last year at that linebacker spot. Now we're talking about him going into year 2 here as maybe the best linebacker in that room, right? So it's certainly possible for these guys to spend a year at a specific position just learning while getting actual game reps and getting acclimated to the speed, getting acclimated to the system on special teams, right? So I think Isaiah Iosefa, he is certainly going to need to make a name for himself this year, because when we look at the upcoming class of 2026, there are a number of linebackers already committed to play at Arizona State in that class. Not to mention, you'll have Martell Hughes. You're probably going to bring in some transfers. You've already got some other guys that we haven't talked about that are on this roster at that linebacker spot. So if Isaiah Iosefa wants to get reps at linebacker even next year, then I think he needs to have a big fall camp going into this season to really just let the coaches know, hey, I'm here. All those accolades, all those awards, all those MVPs and the things that I did at the high school ranks, that's going to translate here, right? You need to let those coaches know that, and it's not about telling them, it's about showing them. And I think Isaiah Iosefa can certainly do that. It's just a matter of how fast into his time at Arizona State does he actually do it, right? Does he do it this fall camp? Does he do it during the season at some point? We'll see. But he's somebody that I think ASU fans should really be excited to see when he ultimately does step out there on the field for Arizona State. Again, linebacker, special teams, anything, right? Getting into our final defensive freshman, our final freshman in general that I feel like could really benefit from a big fall camp. One of the more interesting players on this roster, and especially, I guess, in this conversation, Daeshon Morgan, a defensive lineman who's maybe not the highest rated ranked player in Arizona State's class of 2025, comes in at number 16. He is a Texas to Tempe commit, so you love that for him, from Austin, Texas. But think about it. Think about the last big Texas defensive lineman that committed to Arizona State. I'll let you think on it for 1 second, and boom, okay, it's CJ Fite, right? CJ Fite came to Arizona State as an absolute monster. I remember going out there in the spring. I remember going out there for that first game and telling Sean DePaz at the time, I was like, guys, like, ASU doesn't get D linemen like this. Like, this kid is big. He's from Texas, and he's ready to play now, right? Now, I don't want to say that Daeshon Morgan is ready to play right now, but you look at the size of this kid, again, as a true freshman coming to Arizona State, we're talking about somebody that is 6'4", 250 pounds. And that is before we have even seen him at fall camp, before those rosters have even been handed to us. We can actually see what ASU has him listed here. Yeah, 6'4", 250 pounds as a true freshman. He is a big dude, right? This ASU defensive line is pretty much set. I don't see a path for freshmen to get run on the D-line unless somebody gets hurt, because you look at the front seven, specifically from edge rusher to interior defensive lineman, just list them off for you. Clayton Smith, Prince Dorba, Elijah O'Neal, Joshua Shanklin, who we'll see what his playing time looks like, right? Then you go to the interior of the defensive line. We're talking about CJ Fite, Jacob Kangaika, Zach Swanson, Justin Watley, Anthony Cooper. Like, you are pretty much set when it comes to defensive linemen in the two deep. So when it comes to Daeshon Morgan, it again fits the mold of the guys that I talked about earlier with a Cory Butler. Hey, go get to know Jordan Tyson. Ben, go get to know Xavier Alford. This is my public service announcement to Daeshon Morgan. Go be best buds with CJ Fite. Because when CJ Fite got here, the player that he was when he first stepped onto campus to where he's at now as a true junior is night and day, right? He is somebody that has been a Sun Devil through and through the moment he got on campus. He has taken every piece of feedback that these coaches have given him, and he has turned it into a strength of his. He is going to be an NFL caliber defensive lineman when it is all said and done and his career is over at Arizona State. And I think Daeshon Morgan is somebody who, again, is a Texas high school defensive lineman. There are a lot of similarities between him and CJ Fite. CJ Fite was definitely a higher rated recruit coming out of high school. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that their careers are written in stone at that point based off of high school rankings. But I think Daeshon Morgan, again, this is a position similar to when you look at the offensive line, that year over year, they just bring in so many guys, right? They bring in so many new young defensive linemen, young offensive linemen. They bring in transfers every year, right? Because you can never have enough. You can never have enough talented offensive linemen. You can never have enough talented defensive linemen, whether because of injury, because of schematic fit, because of whatever, right? In Arizona State, they went and they added a young defensive lineman in Daeshon Morgan. It's not often that you see Arizona State under Kenny Dillingham recruit defensive linemen that are true freshmen, right? Normally they'll go get them in the transfer portal. Why? Because those guys are bigger, they're grown men. We're talking about 20-something-year-olds going up against 18-year-olds. This says a lot about Arizona State going and getting Daeshon Morgan, somebody that if he has a big fall camp, I think could be a completely different player when we get to next season. When we get to next spring, when we get to next fall, like we could be talking about Daeshon Morgan again being a rotational piece in this defense. And I don't want it to sound like I'm overemphasizing fall camp. Like I might not be doing it enough justice. Like this is such a crucial point for these players' development over the next 30 days before we get to that first game of the season. And yes, practices in between then. Practices throughout the season are important. Yes. But fall camp is your first, hey, you're in the fire now, right? We got 30 days to a game. You got to get right. Same thing when you get to Camp Tontazona. That's going to be these freshmen, their first experience there. And I think, again, Daeshon Morgan is somebody that you may not know a lot about, but I think could really benefit from a big fall camp in 2025. Just a quick recap for everybody. If you joined us late, we'll go through the 6 players, 3 on offense, 3 on defense that could benefit from a big fall camp in 2025. We kick things off with tight end A.J. Ia. You all know the name if you're an Arizona State fan at this point in time. Somebody that could certainly benefit from a big fall camp for the Sun Devils. We'll see if he ends up playing a big role in this offense in 2025. Then we went to the quarterback room. Michael Tollefson at quarterback for the Arizona State Sun Devils. We don't expect to see him this year, but learning in that quarterback room with Sam Levitt and Jeff Sims could be big for his development. Third on that list, Cory Butler Jr., a speed demon out of Corona, California. He is going to be latched to Jordan Tyson's hip all year, or at least that would be me if I was him, because you could learn a lot. And ultimately, you could play a big role on special teams if the Sun Devils feel that that is the best fit. On defense, we went to the safety room. Ben Alefaio. Did I do that right, Shane? That was right that second time, right? I nailed that one here. Ben is, again, somebody that could play a role. Special teams for Arizona State. I see the more likely path, him getting redshirted this season, but learning, again, from the big duo that they have in Miles Rouser and Xavier Alford on the back end of that defense. Then with the linebackers, Isaiah Iosefa, probably a player that you will see this season again. If I had to make a guess here, probably more of a special teams player as a true freshman, but somebody that could lock down this linebacker spot or a starting linebacker spot in 2026 and beyond. And then we wrap things up with Daeshon Morgan on the defensive line, somebody that could be a completely different player next year if he takes this fall camp seriously in 2025. But it is Friday, so it wouldn't be a PHNX Sun Devil show without a little hot or not, and we still got the deli man in the building for the next couple of days before he leaves me on a little island all by my lonesome. So, deli man, are you ready for your last hot or not?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, not of all time, but just like for like a week.
Literally for 1 week.
Yeah, literally for a week.
Like, I'm not going to be here on Friday next week. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
for hot or not.
Well, you're not here Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, no, I'm saying like that's the only time, unless you plan on doing hot or not every day.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
You won't know.
You want to talk dirty to Glenn for a second?
Hit me up later, Glenn. I got you. Yeah. What do we got for hot or not topic numero uno? All
right. Well, first topic.
Dirty talk.
I was gonna say like one of those phone. You call in to have somebody talk to you. What are those?
I don't know what they're called.
Phone service, whatever.
Yeah.
I
think there's a name for it.
Yeah. Seth, do some research. Actually, I don't want my intern googling that. Hi, Gerald. Gerald just walked in. First topic, Gerald. No, first topic. The idea of aliens being among us once every 6 months that the government puts out, hot or not.
Okay, I need you to break that down for me.
So did you see the most recent one?
No.
So there's a comet or some object that they firmly believe is an alien probe. That's a quote.
From somebody in the government?
Yes.
Okay.
And by December, they will know if it's aliens or not. So by December, there's a chance that we know that there's aliens.
Okay. Interesting.
So
hot or not, them doing that once every 6 months?
This happens so often.
I want to know what happened at the Florida Mall a long time ago.
I don't think that was aliens. I think you're
I think it was aliens.
I think you're borderline like going into crazy conspiracy.
Maybe. But I mean, if you do it enough, one of the conspiracies is bound to be true, right?
Politicians are all reptilians.
I'm going to say not hot. Don't tease me with extraterrestrials.
What do you think aliens look like? Like, what is your most accurate?
That's a good question.
We talked about this on Southwest Bias. What do you think is the most accurate representation? I don't think there is a most accurate representation, actually, because we have no idea.
Yeah.
Derek is in the same boat as I am. Like, we always think carbon-based because that's what we are and that's all we know.
Yeah.
But they're probably something completely different, if anything. I don't know. My favorite representation is in Arrival when they're like heptapods. They're like those like.
That's a great movie.
Oh, one of my favorite films.
It's a really great movie. I remember at the end of that movie just being like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I want to go watch it.
I think that's my favorite representation. What's yours?
I like the concept, and this is again like totally cartoonish, like literally cartoonish. In Invincible, where it's like each planet has their own like
race.
Yeah, pretty much like aliens. I think in reality,
well, it is. There are. The universe is infinite, so there are.
I think probably more like buggish type. Yeah, I think
you like bug type.
No. I hate bug type.
My question
I'm
was
anti-bug.
My question is, what's your favorite representation?
I just think that's the most likely. I don't have like a favorite.
One,
I like the. Ooh.
You strike me as like a little green guy liker.
I'm not like I don't love the green guy. I feel like that's such a lazy representation of it. That's such like 90s aliens, you know?
I think it's like 60s aliens.
Maybe. My favorite representation of aliens is probably that they oh man.
Like I also like the war. Speaking of War of the Worlds, they're making a new one. I like the War of the Worlds aliens that are just so like puny when they get out of their big thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like I think they're allergic to water or something, and so they just like die immediately. Same with in Independence Day. Oh my god, great movie.
I don't know if I have like a favorite representation.
Well, you don't need it. This is hot or not. It's not.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say not hot. I think that's a great question that you asked.
Hot or not, or alien or not?
EJ saying the portal with the huge creatures in the mall. Yeah, that was weird. See, yeah, dude. It was
real. I know. I'm aware of the situation.
Chet Holmgren is my favorite representation of aliens.
Oh man,
that was comment of the week, Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Cam Scatteraboo is an alien.
Cam Scatteraboo is an alien,
yeah, or a reptilian.
He's also a New York Giant.
So. I was going through my Twitter to scrub, like, see if I had anything bad on there.
You were scrubbing your Twitter?
Yeah, I was just I've had Twitter since I was like.
What do you mean by that?
Like making sure I didn't tweet anything crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I tweeted about like NFL players being reptilians like 4 times. Like Julio Jones is a reptilian after he made a crazy catch, which fair. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean that is fair. That is fair. Glenn saying aliens own a Scatteraboo jersey. Yeah,
probably
100% true. Can confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to do the next 2 topics here, we have reached overtime on the PHNX Sun Devils show. So if you're watching us on television, the party always continues at gophnx.com. What do we got for topic numero dos?
Topic numero dos. Handheld gaming systems.
Like Game Boys?
Game Boys. Well,
hot as hell.
Yeah.
Hot as hell. I think it is peak gaming experience for me. And I'm somebody that I'm not afraid to dip my toe into different consoles here. Like big Xbox guy growing up. Xbox, like the OG Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One. I've never owned a PlayStation. I've played PlayStations before. I like the PlayStation experience. Honestly, like PCs, I did PC gaming for a while. Still do it to a little bit of an extent. That's pretty fun. But like there was nothing to me, and maybe this is just like nostalgia behind it. There is nothing that hit harder when it came to like gaming than like doing a road trip and I'm just playing the Kirby game on my little blue Game Boy the entire way.
Yeah. Handheld game systems are the best.
It's a great experience.
I recently actually this morning I purchased the Nintendo Switch too.
Did you really?
Yep, I'm picking it. Or it's getting delivered on Sunday.
We got to play Mario Kart.
Right before my flight. You have it?
I have it, yeah.
Oh, we'll rip.
Yeah, we got it. Sure. It's good.
I never got the original Nintendo Switch because like after like 2 years, I was like, I can wait until the next one.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because I'm a huge Nintendo guy. I'm like the biggest, and people are like, "This is so boring." I'm tuning out, but we're in the hour mark. I don't really care.
We're chilling.
I'm the biggest Legend of Zelda fan. Like it's like my favorite thing ever. Never played any of the new ones, and so I'm super.
You're excited to rip them?
Super stoked.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, one of the hottest things ever. I left my Game Boy DS, it was like a red. Yeah, it was a DS. It was I think it was the first or second edition DS. It was a red DS. Obsessed with it when I was like 12. On a ferry in Washington. And then I realized I left it right after I walked off the boat. We go back on there and they couldn't find it.
That's tough. Somebody stole it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I wish my parents did a better job. My parents did a phenomenal job as parents, but I wish they did. I wish that they would have, like, when I outgrew stuff, like when I outgrew my GameCube or the Game Boy, like I wish they would have just like set that off somewhere. Because like now at 27, I would have that's the only thing I would be doing is I'd be ripping GameCube and Game Boy.
You
and
never
all that
outgrow
stuff.
that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I outgrew it at the time.
I still have it. Greatest
You're just built different.
Greatest console ever.
You're built different. Bring us home, Shane.
Well, I have a couple. Do you want to go like weird or just normal?
we've done a good balance here of like aliens.
Yeah, let's go back to sports. The rivalry jerseys. I know we haven't seen them yet, but we've seen the colorways, we've seen the ideas. What are your thoughts?
Like the NFL ones?
The NFLs, yeah.
I like them.
First of all, what do you think about the Cardinals sand? Like, because it's clearly going to be sand.
Yeah, I mean, I like the video. I really like the video.
I'm just like, as a color, like.
I do not like tan on jerseys.
I think it has to be done right.
It has to be done perfect, not just right, because we've seen ASU try to do it with like the salute to service jerseys.
I don't think those were that bad though.
No, but every year they tried new ones,
yeah.
And not every year did they look good. Especially like some of those jerseys look great in videos, or some of them look good in like on figurines, but like or mannequins. Not all of them look good on field with the lighting in the games, like that type of stuff. So you do have to do them perfectly. But I think it's the NFL, so I think the NFL will do them. I think they'll do them right at least. But I really like them. Yeah. I like when the NFL is just like, you know what, screw it. Let's do the weirdest jerseys possible.
I'm so glad in the past 4 years they've just adopted, okay, fine, everyone can have whatever they want for jerseys.
Yeah. Which should be fine. That should be how it is anyways.
The fact that they could only have one helmet for however long it was ridiculous.
Now the Packers' new helmets,
those are horrible.
Those look like a turd.
Legitimately horrible.
Yeah, they look horrendous.
They look like somebody like screen printed on a PNG that was too small to cover the surface, and so they made it bigger and it lost quality. It's horrible.
There's only one word in the dictionary to describe those Packers helmets, and it is ass. Yeah, nice. that is the perfect way.
God, we're aligned with
that. 100% hashtag aligned here, guys. That is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. We do appreciate everybody that listened on audio as well as watched live or after the fact. If you did enjoy today's content, we go a long way. If you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, you dropped a 5-star review, and you followed the show at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow that guy doing all sorts of things. The Deli Man at Shane Dief. As always, yeah. And we've got some fun content going up on the YouTube that you're definitely going to want to check out over the weekend. Saturday content, Sunday content. So like I said earlier, make sure you subscribe to PHNX Sports, and we'll see you on Monday. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.